Hey, it's Cara, the Lifestylista, and I'm so excited today because you have spoken and I have listened. There's some things that bother you, right? You talk about your armpit fat, you want some help with that. You talk about your boobs, you want some help with that. And 3, you talk about wanting to make your arms more toned and sculpted, long and lean. I am here to help with that, all right? So these exercises are gonna deal with your bust, your arm fat, so that fat between your shoulder, your underarm and your bust, and it's gonna deal with your beautiful, beautiful arms. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do what's called a pec fly. Some people call it a chest fly. So I take this, these are 5-pound weights. You can use 3-pound weights. You know, I don't necessarily want you to go too heavy because I'm actually looking for you to do 20 reps of these pecs. Right. Now, breathe out on the effort. Breathe in when it's less effort. Breathe out on the effort. Now, what I want you to remember is that you really don't want to just try and do this quickly. You really want to, no, nothing like that. When you do an exercise like this to get the most value out of it and not hurt yourself, you work slowly and surely, okay? And you actually stand with feet hip distance apart. So you have some kind of stable ground to be on, all right? So you're going to do 20 of these. Like, you might have some cans in your house, you might have some water bottles. You do these pec flies and you will see a difference. So that's the first thing. You just did pec flies. My kind of dumbbell press. So I notice that my legs are hip distance apart. They're not completely straight. I'm gonna give myself like a good base. My shoulders are, my elbows are up. So it's 90 degrees to the ground. And I put my stuff like that and I go like this. Can you feel that burn? That's great. Now I've just done 5. I'd like you to do as many as you can, whether it's 5 or whether it's 20. It all depends on the weight. If you have a can at home, you have some water bottles, if you actually have some weights, make your weights about 3 to 5 pounds. Mine are 5 pounds. You know, some women may want to go up to 8. I'm just looking at the long and the lean, the long and the lean, and the high reps. The next one for the bust. Now, ladies, those of you who are like secretly, you know, you write me and you say, hey, don't mention my name, but can you make me some bigger boobs? Can you give me an exercise to give me some bigger boobs? I am here for you. You can't be promised a D cup if you are an A cup just with exercise. But what you can be promised is if you do the work, your bust may appear bigger because it is more perky, for want of a better word. But remember, just so you didn't say I told you something that I, you know, overpromised, remember that 1, your bust is made up of fat. So when you lose weight, you may also lose fat there. Some people lose it in proportion. Some people, you know, don't necessarily lose it in proportion. Sometimes it goes first. And remember that time passes, breasts sag. But you can do what you can by working on these pecs. And this exercise is a killer. All right, so I like to call this the bust improver. So you put you see this? And I've got my legs like that, hip distance apart, and I'm like this. And actually, let me do them without weights, because not everybody has weights, and I want to just show you the simple exercise. I'm getting as close as I can. Look. And really hold them. Really hold them together, elbows together. Feel that. Feel your chest muscles. Feel like a superhero. Push them together and party. Have a party. Party. No, I'm kidding. You want it, you have them in front of you. You're doing an exercise, you stay them, you can bounce, 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 all you like, but remember, go out again. Bounce, 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 bounce. Out again. Bounce, 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 bounce. Out again. Now, when you're doing them with the weights, you're not going to be necessarily doing all the bouncing, but I want you to see, and I'd love you to do them till you feel, so you might, some people may only be able to manage 5. Now, obviously the weights make it harder for me to get in close. And you want to keep your elbows up. Don't do it so fast. No, you're up. It's a controlled, you're up. Now, you might only be able to manage 5, 10, maybe 20. That'd be amazing. And if you can, whatever the set you can manage, take a break, 30 to 60 seconds. Maybe you can do another set. Maybe you can just do a few more. Do yourself proud. Remember, we're talking about your arm fat, we're talking about your bust, and we're talking about your long, lean, slender arms. And one more exercise I'm thinking of. For those of you who are like, she did the bust people, she did the arm fat people, what about the arm long and lean people? I've got something for you. I learned this when I was 10, and I loved it. I called it, what did I call it? I called it something. Oh, never mind. Okay, so you go like this, turning a screw. So look at this, look at my arms, look at my arms. So it's like I'm turning a screw, door handle maybe, turning, but I'm long and lean. I'm pointing with my fingers, long and lean, long and lean. Long and lean, long and lean. And you can do 20 of these. Oh, yes, you can. 20 of these, long and lean. Picture your arms, long and lean, going to the other side of the room, long and lean. And make sure your shoulders aren't up in your ears. No, low, long and lean, long and lean. Arm, or whatever I used to call them when I was 10. And then, so do that. And then the arm circles, they're amazing. And they're not as big as that. That was just for flourish. Arm circles. So you see how my arms are? Arm circles. I do them forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slow and controlled. I was just getting overexcited. Feel the burn. And the bigger they are, the more they're taking, the more they're doing. But if you can't handle that, do your little small circle. Get it in, and try and always look, take a note of your form. So I'm making sure that my arms are at 90 degrees to the ground. So sometimes you get tired and you go, I'm doing the exercise. Oh, no, you're not. Oh, no, you're not. Arms, 90 degrees between you, so parallel with the ground. And this, you do your circles and don't rush it. You do slow, controlled motion. Think of what your arms are doing, and then something really exciting. So do 20 forwards, and then this is the wild bunch. Do your 20 backwards. Woo. Slow and controlled. Slow and controlled. Slow and controlled. Keep your core engaged. Slow and controlled. Oh, dudes. So remember, we dealt with your arm fat, and there's something really important for me to tell you about that. If you don't look at having a healthy diet, a clean, healthy diet, if you don't look at also getting some of your cardio in, you're not going to make this exercise alone will not make a dent in your arm fat. This is to support your clean eating and to support your other forms of exercise, your cardio, okay? For the bust, absolutely, absolutely, doing these pec exercises makes such a difference. That's the second thing. And then the third, this, oh, good gosh. Let's not even talk about it. And this, oh my goodness. You want to be, when summer comes or when the Christmas dresses come out, you know you got your arms, baby. Got your arms. Lots and lots of love. I'm the Lifestylista, and I am here rooting for you.